From Wish TV and the All Indiana Podcast Network, this is the News 8 Daily 8 Podcast, a Wish TV News 8 update.
Hi, this is Hannah Mordo, and this is your News 8 Daily for Tuesday, December 23rd. It is weirdly warm outside. We are in the 50s right now, and I'm recording this at 4 in the morning. High today is going to be around 58. Cloudy morning, though, with fog and light showers possible. Be ready for a cloudy afternoon, too. But hey, you can get outside. Colts quarterback Phillip Rivers connected to wide receiver Alec Pierce multiple times in the end zone last night. Rivers finished with 277 passing yards and 2 touchdowns, both to Pierce. Rivers also had a costly interception, though, in the fourth quarter that ended any hope for a comeback for the Colts last night. But the biggest issue for the Colts, the defense struggled to stop the 49ers offense. Quarterback Brock Purdy threw for 295 yards and a career high of 5 touchdowns. The Colts ultimately fell 48-27. The loss means the Colts have not won a game since returning from their bye week last month. News 8's Andrew Chernoff was in Lucas Oil Stadium last night and talked to the team after the loss.
The Colts found themselves on the wrong side of that scoreboard once again. Indy is now on a 5-game losing streak, the most recent loss coming last night to the 49ers. The Indy defense just could not stop the San Francisco offense as the 49ers racked up 440 yards of offense en route to a 21-point victory. Now the Colts are not eliminated from playoff contention, but their percentage to make the postseason as of this morning is just 3%.
Yeah, we got to be better. That starts with me. Got to be better. Bottom line, we can't give up that many yards. They scored a lot of points, went up and down the field. We got to get that cleaned up in a hurry. Our defense played great last week, and then this week, got to be better. And it starts with me. Bottom line.
I know this locker room's hurting. Again, I've been a part of it for a short time, for 2 losses, and I know that it's been a long slide now for over a month, and I know that's tough. I've been a part of those slides, and now I'm obviously a part of this right now, and we just got to find a way to dig deep and find a way to win a football game.
Especially just Monday night in front of the home crowd. I mean, you want to play your best ball. You want to put on a good performance. And that definitely was not good enough by any means on every level, offense, defense, special teams. So that one hurts. Like I said, you don't always get those Monday nights, those primetime games, and you have to make those special. And we didn't do that today.
We got dominated today. Like, it's really nothing else to talk about. I mean, credit to San Fran. I feel like they came in. They did what they wanted. Shane's been saying just a little bit more. We got to keep pushing to keep being better, and we haven't been.
It's tough, we haven't won a game since Germany, have we? So it's a complete 180.
The Colts have just 2 more games remaining, obviously must-wins. Their next chance to get a victory comes right here next Sunday when they host the Jaguars in the home finale. Inside Lucas Oil Stadium, Andrew Chernoff, Wish TV, and WishTV.com.
Some Colts fans may have watched last night's game from a downtown bar that now says you have to be at least 30 to get inside. News 8's Kat Sandoval went to the bar on Georgia Street to find out why its owners are raising the age limit.
It's mixed reviews. Some bar hoppers say it's good, while others are torn. In the heart of Indy's bar scene is Georgia's Rhythm and Blues Lounge. This sign, over 21 only, just got an upgrade. The bar posted the announcement on social media. They say they'll restrict the bar to 30 and over because younger patrons don't know how to conduct themselves in the environment.
I love it. More bars should do it. I hate being the older guy at the bar. I've noticed that as I get older. I'm 31.
This year alone, IMPD's police reports show 6 incidents that include theft, public disturbances, and assault. But not everyone is keen with the new restriction.
If I was going out with younger people, obviously that would be a turnoff. Yeah, that they couldn't go there. I wouldn't go there.
Abby just turned 30, and while she's able to get into this downtown bar, she says she can't bring everyone in.
All of my siblings are younger, and then my husband's younger than me, I guess, too. And some of my friends are younger, so that would be a turnoff there.
31-year-old Tom wants other bars to follow suit.
There needs to be more 30-plus bars in Indianapolis. And now I'm going to go to this place because they're doing it.
There are exceptions to the bar rules, which include special guests of the staff and their marketing team. I'm Kat Sandoval for Wish TV, WishTV.com.
This morning, police are looking for a hit-and-run driver from a south side crash that sent 3 children to the hospital. It happened just before 4 yesterday afternoon at Madison Avenue and East Stop 10 Road. IMPD says 1 child was thrown from their vehicle, but all 3 kids were stable when taken to hospitals. So far, there's no word on the type of vehicle that drove away from the crash. If you have any information, though, police say you should call 911 or call Crime Stoppers at 317-262-TIPS. IMPD has released new photos in an effort to find a missing 16-year-old with autism. You can see them on wishtv.com or at IMPD's X account. The pictures are of Robert Williams Jr. He's also known as RJ and was last seen wearing a gray coat, blue sweatpants, and black tennis shoes. Police say they also found his backpack and gym bag that were in the pictures too. Police say RJ was last seen on Wednesday on Broad Ripple Avenue, east of Winthrop Avenue. Investigators say RJ is black, 5 feet 9 inches tall, has black hair and brown eyes. If you have any information on where he is, police say you should call 911. A federal judge has sentenced the former CEO of an Indianapolis nonprofit to nearly 3 years for a $2 million embezzlement scheme. A judge sentenced Teresa Swatz to 33 months in federal prison after she pleaded guilty to wire fraud yesterday. Prosecutors say she stole more than $2 million over 17 years from the nonprofit National Independent Statistical Service Company. She then used the money on things like luxury travel, wine, and credit card bills. A state lawmaker is pushing for a bill that would require most data centers to get a DNR permit. He says the law could address concerns over water quality near data centers. News 8's government reporter, Garrett Berquist, explains.
This is the latest turn in a growing battle over data centers. One lawmaker tells me he wants to make sure we have water use guidelines in place before too many are built. The bill's author says he doesn't want to stop data centers, just set some ground rules.
With all the focus that has been on data centers here, specifically in Indiana, it's incredibly important that we put some guardrails in place, making sure that we are not depleting our water sources throughout the state, and while also keeping track and inventory of the water that is coming through and making sure that it's still being able to be consumed by Hoosiers.
Burton's bill would require every data center capable of consuming at least 10 million gallons of water per month to get a permit from the DNR. Permit applications would have to include a description of the facility, water sources, and public health and environmental measures.
We need to make sure that our water is safe. And my hope is that this bill not only begins the conversation, but then we build out the guardrails that we have for data centers if they're going to exist within the state.
According to the General Assembly's Research Division, Burton's bill could impact about 70 data centers that already exist. Only one is registered with the DNR as a significant water withdrawal facility. The state already requires registration for any facility that withdraws at least 100,000 gallons of water per day, but that law does not specifically address data centers. Consumer advocates say they'd like to see some clarification between withdrawal and consumption.
A lot of these industrial facilities return an awful lot of the water that they have withdrawn to the system. So what do we mean by consumed? Do we really mean withdrawal, or are we talking about the difference between withdrawals of water minus discharge and how much water they're putting back?
Olson says he likes the bill overall, but he wants Burton to add language to ensure public access to information about proposed data centers. Meanwhile, the Indiana Chamber of Commerce says data center proposals should be evaluated on a case-by-case basis. CEO Vanessa Green-Cinders says an evaluation by DNR may be appropriate in some circumstances, but ultimately no unnecessary burdens, including permitting, should be mandated by state law that could deter investment, stifle workforce development, or impact negatively local communities' economic growth strategies.
I believe that my bill is a first step in making sure that data centers that are coming into existence meet the thresholds of guaranteeing that the discharged water is safe and drinkable and consumable for Hoosiers.
Burton tells me he also plans to file a companion bill. That one would block state agencies from overriding some local decisions surrounding data centers. I'm Garrett Bergquist for Wish TV and WishTV.com.
More than a dozen survivors of Jeffrey Epstein are criticizing the Department of Justice's limited release of the files on the sex trafficker. Sherelle Hubbard explains why some of them are accusing the DOJ of breaking the law.
The rollout of the Epstein file has been an absolute disaster.
An attorney for accusers of Jeffrey Epstein is reacting to the Justice Department's release of thousands of documents and pictures related to the investigations into the late sex offender, stating this weekend's Epstein files release was handled poorly. One Epstein accuser says the focus has been taken off the survivors and into the political arena.
I'm definitely disappointed. And I think that what is most upsetting to me is the fact that this has been so highly politicized when it's not a political issue.
Another gripe is that many of the files are heavily redacted. At least one victim claims her name was not.
It is heartbreaking because what we've learned as all of us have talked, like there's a page in there where literally everything is redacted except a survivor's name.
Politicians argue that the fact that the DOJ has not released all of the materials in its possession and only provided a partial release of documents is leaving lawmakers dissatisfied as well.
You know, what we're seeing is a massive cover-up by the White House, working with DOJ.
Thousands of files still aren't public. The Justice Department's release of the Epstein files, mandated by Congress to be completed last week, is still a work in progress. I'm Sherelle Hubbard reporting.
The Kansas City Chiefs say they are moving across the state line from Missouri to Kansas. The team made that announcement yesterday after a council of Kansas lawmakers voted unanimously to allow the state to issue bonds for a new domed stadium in Kansas City, Kansas. It means Kansas taxpayers would pay more than half of the $3 billion cost of the stadium to be built in time for the 2031 season. Football teams started talks with Kansas officials after voters in Jackson County, Missouri, rejected a sales tax extension to pay for renovations to Arrowhead Stadium and to the Kansas City Royals Kauffman Stadium. Powerball jackpot has jumped to $1.7 billion this morning with no big winner last night. The next drawing is on Christmas Eve. The lottery says the prize is now likely the fourth largest in U.S. history. Odds of winning, though, are 1 in 292.2 million. Good luck, though. This has been your News 8 Daily from Wish TV. I'm Hannah Mordeau. Watch us on Wish TV and wishtv.com.
This is the News 8 Daily 8 podcast, a Wish TV News 8 update on demand. For even more, on demand and on the go, connect with Wish TV on Facebook at wishtv.com and on the free Wish TV mobile app. Thank you for listening, and be sure to like, subscribe, and follow this podcast for updates every weekday morning on the All Indiana Podcast Network and wherever you get your podcast.